Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Heroes Right, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting episode here, 1 versus 1 on La Glaze here between the North. GGThemachine here fighting for the Soviet Union for the glory of Comrade Stalin and the 7th Tank Brigade. Rolling ahead there for the glory of socialism versus Zuna fighting here for the Wehrmacht, for the Reich, for the Sperrverbande Reinhardt, with Jäger Infantry, Osttruppen and assault support there versus now advanced warfare tactics here chosen by GGThemachine. Bulletins are pretty much infantry in every way. Double Grenadiers there versus lots of conscripts there from the machine. So rather start up there. Noting, by the way, he's heading westwards. He's heading westwards. So he's not going towards his, closest viewpoint, as you would imagine, but he's going for the west. So rather unusual move there from the machine right off the bat. There's the Wehrmacht player sort of taking things a bit more casually. Of course, he might sort of be hoping to sort of throw off Zuna initially with this move. I mean, some players like to sort of do what I call disruption moves. That is, rather than sort of focusing on just taking more territory for themselves, they're focusing on disrupting the other opponent's early game, which can usually have some effects if they can pull it off correctly. Of course, if the opponent remains calm and collected, though, of course, it can backfire on them if something goes wrong doing those early maneuvers. But little fun thing there. Now it does seem to be sort of more about them, might be just the engineers sort of being sent in this sort of make a bit of a fuss there for Zuna. Third conscript squad there, we got an MG42 as well arriving soon here for Zuna down south. Points there being grabbed. Minor shooter, there we go. Pioneers versus engineers fighting for the victory point. Then again, he's been pushed back with the Pioneers pursuit. Yes, schnell! Come on, Heinz, leg it. We can't let the Russians. Scheiße, sie get in there. And so keep locking the door. And we don't have the keys, but yeah, but we have guns. And we have the ability to kick the door in 90. That would be rude. That would be breaking and entering. That's verboten. Gotta get this squad there moving up. MD42 there for Zuna arriving. Got a 4th conscript there for machines. So they're not opting for any sort of early buildings with any Maxims, mortars, or anything like that to support his troops. Engineers, they're being pushed back. They realise the situation is not in their favour anymore. And Sergeant Anton pulls it out of there. Conscripts moving about there, otherwise going territory. We will have a slight fuel advantage in some sense there to Zuna, though not so much because, I mean, otherwise, machines will be able to grab a lot more territory than Zuna. Seen with a few point, I mean, at the same time, Zuna just doesn't have a lot of territory. 3 Grenadiers, 1 MD42 now. Comes there flanking in there, sneaking in, good, while Zuna here sort of focused on moving up the centre. He's sort of forgotten about the rear areas, and that is where machines shall strike, cleverly, viciously, fiendishly. And there you go, getting right past the MD42 behind it, setting up there in the building. Bit unfortunate there, MD42 forced to fall back. Grenadiers moving out. Grabbing a point there, and here as well. There's a bit of trouble. Got conscripts rushing in from several sides to attack. MD42 being pushed back here as well. A bit of chaos and confusion now here, sort of ruling in Zuna's ranks. There's basically machine is striking from as many points as possible, getting past all the points, but basically Zuna's not keeping an eye on things, sort of hitting from points there. So maneuver for some of the MD42 caught in a pretty nasty spot there. Kind of is sort of being slightly surrounded here, getting cut off, getting caught by precision. The conscripts themselves find themselves surrounded now. So of course machine needs to be careful. He's, by the way, gone for a support company. He's bringing up a mortar. MD42 they're being pushed away. Almost wiped. That could certainly be a bit unfortunate. Lost over in the beginning there for Zuna, but no, looks like he makes it. We've got the Pioneers moving up with a Flammenwerfer to help scorch out the Russians, burn them out. Got flamethrowers up here as well from the machine. He's not one to be left behind. And we got a mortar as well here on the way for Zuna. So both sides already bringing mortars to the fight there. Both sides bringing mortars to the fight because they've been pushed out. Oh, caught from so many conscripts there. That could very well be a white one there. Someone else managed to draw their attention, or the conscripts are forced to move a bit around there. Oh, there we go. Small victory. No, not much of a victory, really. Just the denial of victory to the other side. But there you go, comes trouble again. We got machine keeping up the pressure, though. Sort of slightly being pushed back, even then he's still sort of maintaining good momentum. And of course, with the mortar, things are going to be harder here for Zuna, sort of maintaining sort of defensive positions. No tech up here from Zuna, no sign of a doctrine either. There we go. Mortars are firing. Set up here reasonably nicely. German mortars, of course, joining in the fun as well. There we go. Really good hit on the conscripts. But the pioneers here rather exposed, nothing to draw fire, and they're basically in the middle of the bloody road, begging to be shot to pieces there, which I'm pretty sure they aren't actually. Because there's a press pushed away. Machine now sort of forced to fall back. They could have sort of tried exerting a bit more pressure here on the flanks rather than sort of, you know, pushing up the centre. He's attempting there to do. Still no take up from Zuna. He's got the resources for it. Of course, he might just aim for another MD42, maybe another mortar. More grenadiers, so he might be planning something in from the doctrines. I mean, he could, for example, go for assault support, calling an officer right now. That could be used above his troops. Oh dear, engineers wipe. Flame for a drop there for Zuna to utilise. Nice job there. That's definitely going to help Zuna a bit more with some extra firepower. Back up, and we get tech up there as well now for Zuna. Looks like we have some grenadiers sneaking up here, setting up on there. Interesting, interesting. Machines have been cooked out. He's going for the 5th country squad. Continuing the doctrine, though, it does fit. I mean, if he intends to use assault packages, it's going to fit quite nicely. Plus, of course, he's going to have then 5 units capable of repairing as well. So, I mean, overall, it fits. It fits. It makes sense considering the doctrine he's made. You know, he actually goes for that many conscripts, of course. I mean, this is the kind of doctrine where, you know, I mean, sure, 4 conscripts is good in, you know, nice solid mount, but, you know, 5 is not going to hurt compared to, say, a doctrine where, you know, there's not really, you know, meshing from the doctrine itself. Holy moly! Right here, Zuna pulled off a bit of a coup and actually managed to secure the enemy's mortar right under Machine's nose. Cheeky. And that's definitely going to then add a bit more artillery capability there then to Zuna if he sets it up correctly. At the same time, though, we do have some striking on the flank. That is going to force Zuna to sort of spread out. They can't allow themselves to focus anymore on just the centre. Comes to the air assault, though, broken off. Of course, got still plenty more concentrated to strike elsewhere. He's close going to be able to get the submachine guns. Molotovs on the way, realizing, of course, that Zuna stag in. Zuna could go for the light mechanized company, probably should. Throw in some Panzer Grenadier maybe, or a half-track. Either of those, I think, could do him some good. But now, Machine Bauer, he's only got conscripts. He might want to get some engineers up, or a Maxim, or another mortar, something like that.
We could use some action to keep warm.
Larger assault being prepared here, might also be some harassment. I mean, noting here that Machine is not just the type sort of bang his head into a wall, he's sort of constantly maneuvering about, sort of trying to find other positions to strike from, finding the weak spot and sort of basically trying to play around the Germans. I mean, that's good, that's good. That is solid play there and certainly playing to the Soviet strengths. And of course it only makes it harder here for sort of Zuna to sort of try and predict these. By the way, going for assault support. He should in that case go for an officer. The officer would help him there with his ability to, you know, get the other troops to sort of fire more effectively. Plus he can also use, you know, coordinate both mortar to sort of, you know, attack one target at the same time, you know. Or for example, if you got a Panzerwerfer, you could do that to sort of make it fire more. But there we go, we are seeing something being handed out there. PPH-41's there. The Russians were in fact quite fond of the PPH-41. In fact, equipping large amounts of their troops as the war progressed increasingly more and more with submachine guns. In fact, they have entire units equipped with them solely. In fact, lastly dropping out on the rifle. Fun fact there, by the way. PPH-41 was probably also one of the more effective submachine guns to try and pull that one off with. It actually, I think, had a decent effective range compared to other submachine guns. But yes, there you go. We sort of initially started out with basically only one company, I think, or something like that, were equipped with it. But as it just went on, it just sort of spread out to the rest of the units as well. So, fun facts there, fun facts there. Troops reinforcing, healing up. No light mechanics company could be playing straight for a tier 3, in which case that would be good, but he should then get out the cargo truck as soon as he can, sort of speed things up there. I think he could stand to move up the mortar a bit closer to the front line. And there we go, we do get the Opel Blitz, we do get the Opel Blitz. Looks like it hit a raspberry depot or something. No officer though, no take up, no, there we go, like to make it as company, so he's going for both there, going for both. But he's actually managed to steal quite a bit of equipment there already from Machine there, a mortar and a flamethrower. In that regard, so he's actually got quite a bit of firepower, of course that's not to say, you know, that Machine is without any teeth, thanks to all those submachine guns he's just sort of managed to grab. That is again, about 5 conscript squads, 30 men, and about half of them equipped with submachine guns. So that's about 15 submachine guns. Certainly nothing to take lightly, in particular when combined with flamethrowers and hoorah. And it is here being sort of rushed by Russians. Getting up closer there, though you might want to use the ones without the submachine guns, so got shots there a bit better. But there you go, getting up closer, and this all range trouble. There we go. Zuna pulls the men back. Mortar nearby, Grenadiers with flamethrowers moving up. Comes they're taking some damage. Grenade maps reaching veterans who won. And we got Panzers on the way. Yes, good, good, good. Otherwise, a half track would also be a good choice here for Zuna. Sort of help him reinforce at the front line. So to ensure he doesn't have to counter retreat, could also be used to provide some support damage there versus the Russian troops, and have to push further forward slowly. Which is really something he needs, because right now Machine is sort of basically maintaining most of the map here, which is not good. Mortar there and the Molotov. There we go. Panzer Grenadier ramming here for Zuna. With their Sturmgewehrs. The assault rifle, which itself had a rather tumultuous development, as initially the Führer wouldn't hear anything of it, thinking it would just lead to some, you know, poor ideas and Germans troops wasting bullets, which is always sort of a common thing, you know. Weapon that can sort of shoot more bullets? Nope. Going to make those soldiers dumb. Gotta keep them with, you know, stuff that only fires one bullet at a time. German army, though, kept developing it under different names until it was ready, and then the Führer sort of, okay, so this is actually kind of nice, and then he sort of called it the Sturmgewehr, leading to what we now know today as the assault rifle. But there we go, Panzer being pushed back there, Panzer with Grenadiers, lots of troops there. Nope, by the way, I was about to say he hasn't upgraded at all, but looks like he might be planning out, you know, a few minutes to adjust for the rifle. Could be sort of a nice mix there. We're seeing his Zuna pushing back, no half track though. Though he is moving up for tier 3 there, good, good. The whole Blitz certainly helping with that. Plus, of course, also fighting with more munitions. Now shooting there. Panzer moving up to support here. Pioneers a bit of trouble. There we go. Panzer arriving. Setting up here around some old discarded stuff. There we go. Comes back to rather heavily damaged. We got a tank. People tank command up here, of course, with the T-34 so it's already on the way. And Zuna doesn't have any pack 40s. I mean, he's going to have to rush out their support armor corps as soon as he can, so, you know, then get out something to deal with it. And a quick shoot might be the best option there. But he's definitely got a bit of trouble here. I mean, Machine sort of basically taking advantage of his strategy and success so far to sort of quickly rush out some armor. Good thinking there, sharp thinking from the Machine.
Pioneers ready for assignment.
Pioneers following up here for Zuna. Nega constant fire from the Grenadiers, veterans G2. Could attempt here a rifle grenade maybe. Still no sign of an officer. Another option here for Zuna is actually to consider also maybe calling in a second orbital blitz a bit later on. But right now the support armor corps should be a priority. But it is not. It is not. And we do have the T-34. 76 there running for GG in the Machine.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
So first tank on the field, they're going to caught a bit off guard. Their Panther will not be able to damage the engine without a sufficient number of them. Gunners in choppers will be getting for 2 starting up the assault there. No incendiary rounds, by the way. Panzer is there firing as well. T-34 hunting down the unit here, trying to get a wipe there, Mortar's taking damage and losses as well. Looking rather rough here, looking rather rough there for Zuna. He's still not got anything up to deal with it. Again, he didn't build that support armor corps as soon as he could. So he's not got any chance of sort of getting up some armor. There he goes, getting a pack 40, he's getting a pack 40. He is trying to avoid death here, trying to use the buildings of the screen. Making some use of it here though. Moved out in front of it, T-34 moving about. Oh! Might try and get the Orbital Blitz. There we go. Damaged engine there, but there we go. Orbital Blitz kaput. A small victory here for the Machine, and its T-34 is going to get out of there reasonably safely. Pack 40 won't arrive in time to do anything. And of course, with the Pack 40, they further delayed Zuna's their armor tech up. So, of course, there's a threat to the tank. There's nothing that can sort of really hunt down the tank with any kind of ease. In the meanwhile, though, I mean, Zuna didn't completely panic, by the way. Good sign there. I mean, he didn't just rush anything back. He sort of still had other troops doing work there on the front line. I mean, that's sort of a sign of a player who knows what to do at times. You know, he doesn't actually focus solely on one thing. Even if there's a setback somewhere else, he's trying to sort of push forwards elsewhere. Good job there. S-Mines there being set off by the T-34, using that as a minesweeper. And by the way, there did actually exist a T-34 variant with the large mine rollers in front of it to deal with the mines. Fun fact there, fun fact there. There was also a flamethrower variant of the T-34-76 with a flamethrower sort of instead of the machine gun, I believe. Still had the use of its main gun, if I'm not mistaken. Mortar could try and move up a bit further and maybe sort of set up close to the other mortar as well. There you go, a bit further forward as well. If you can catch the counter here, I mean, he doesn't probably know where it is quite, but Trying to shoot around the point, but if he were to shoot around here, I mean, that could be, you know, pretty good. But there we go. Control quick repairing the T-34. I mean, again, that's the advantage here of going advanced warfare with all the contra repair kits. I mean, with all the contra actually can quickly repair the tank from any damage it suffered. But to push the other pack 40, needs to make sure he can cover it, actually, which I'm not entirely sure he can. So Palmer, of course, still not going up there. He really needs it soon and schnell. Bit of push here towards the fuel pump, but that's been pushed off here by Conscript. We've got mines up here, by the way. I don't think Machine's laid down any mines, but he's not taking any chance there. T-34 taking further hits, so we've got a field gun up as well, just in case Zuna gets out in the armor, though he hasn't really rushed for it yet. Then before others will try to stall this halt, which is just basically charging forward there. Streets clocked with angry Russians for the submachine guns going up there. Not only not, I'm seeing the flamethrower ones. Trying to burn away this Russian. Pack 40 cleared out, T-34 advances. Support McCall finally going up. We really should have one up soon. They're going before joining in. Pack 40 being stolen away. Can he get away with it? Can he get away with it? Oh, looks like he will. Holy hell, though. One hell of a mortar strike there. Bits of bullets, Sergei, Mikhail all over the place. That was one hell of a mortar strike there. 14 kills. Just moving up there. Gets the Pack 40 there. But then the engineers get the grenadiers, scorching them. Yeah, the Opel Blitz though. Opel Bits. MD42 setting up there, moved a bit too far. Maybe Mortify could just ring down. They almost got the engineers, Can he get them? Can he get them? I've literally joined the MD42. And there we go. Wipe there against Machine. He's not having much luck there with his engineers. And there he goes. The Palmer is up. He could rush for a Panzer IV. He could also try aim for the Sturmgeschütz to sort of just deal with the armor. Depends on what he's planning on doing. Part, I mean, Panzer IV would certainly be good, more effective all rounder, but the Stuke setting was more effective as just countering the armor. Plus, considering in theory, if he's aiming for the Tiger, allow him to save up fuel for that much more efficiently. Whereas the Panzer IV is going to drain up a lot more fuel for that. So, I mean, there are a few considerations there, but otherwise, I mean, Zuna's ground, they actually got most of the map here. So there we go. I mean, he's been able to maintain a decent composure there, despite, you know, T-34 being rushed against him. There's been some good thoughts, well, play there by him, though, again, he probably could have prepared a bit better, and he could have had that thing out soon. We got Panzer IV there in the way. But counter-chase for Zuna, he's got most of the map. He has suffered some setbacks. He's lost his Opel Blitz. He's still got the enemy mortar, though. He's still got the enemy flamethrowers overall. Actually got a larger force. So overall in that regard, you know, a lot of the advantage here so far are for Zuna. He's soon got a Panzer IV on the way. He did lose the Pack 40, though. That's going to hurt a bit for the Panzer IV. Should help offset things a bit there. He could also, in theory, try aiming for a Panzer X, or he could try aiming for mines instead. Both would work, though I think the mines will have more chance of catching up any enemy tanks and sort of leaving them easier targets than for the Panzer IV. Panzer VI, of course, can work, but of course that depends on Zuna how he uses them. I mean, if he keeps running around the troops out in the open, one good hit from the tank, for example, is going to wipe it all out. So it's a bit more tricky there for sort of Zuna how to do that. But if he's going for the Panzer IV, I mean, he should definitely get up more Opel Blitzes. I mean, he's just playing for the Tiger even slightly. I mean, Opel Blitzes will be necessary. One here, and then I think one on the fuel port, so they create this extra fuel there. If he can do that, that should definitely allow Zuna to sort of build up a much larger fuel income there versus his opponent. To sort of keep things a bit in perspective there. I mean, otherwise he needs to keep the pressure. Otherwise, you know, he's got a lot of territory now, but he also needs to be prepared to defend it, because again, we got a player there with a lot of offensive momentum. Again, he's still got a tank. He's got a lot of conscript submachine guns, so it's going to be a trick here for Zuna sort of how to defend it. He might also want to grab that fuel point and turn it against, of course, the machine and sort of grab it for himself. They could certainly give him further fuel as well. But mines, maybe, Opel Blitzes, and, you know, more armor as soon as possible. And with the Panzer IV, he certainly put back the plans of any Tiger there, certainly somewhat back. So that's certainly also something he's going to have to keep in mind. Again, if he's playing for a Tiger, again, more Blitzes will be needed, more than one, though, if he's playing for one. Otherwise, it's simply going to take too long, I think. For Zuna, or for Machine here, one thing to consider is there's going to be some fuel catches himself. I mean, the more fuel he can build up is also good. I mean, he might be planning over some T-3045s, but again, that's going to be quite fuel intensive as well. He should also try and strike more here at these sort of more exposed wings and flanks there of the Zuna's territory at the moment, not so just trying to push up, but he needs to sort of force Zuna to spread out, make his troops easier targets, and of course strike here and there, using the T-34, then sort of striking the more valuable targets, while they can sort of also maybe sort of try and thrush in and flank, maybe catch some support weapons off guard and steal them, or in the case of the Cert mortar, steal them back. An additional fuel gun could be an idea, otherwise mortars would also be a nice touch there, but I really think fuel gas is going to be sort of the primary idea there for the machine. Otherwise, not so much else to comment on, but let's return to the fight. Let's see what actually happens. Again, that T-34 is going to need some repairs. Veteran G1 and Veteran G2.
Combat engineers, enemy forces forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Engineers moving up. There you go, T-34 being swiftly repaired. The wonders of conscript repair kits and a lot of conscripts.
Now we can walk with
Point there grabbed.
Don't let us freeze you.
No blitz, no nothing much else there from Zuna. I mean, comparatively, I mean, Zuna has been making a lot less use of his doctrine compared to the machine who's making, well, radio intercept obviously is a passive, but there's been some machine upgrades that have been repair kits utilised. And there's definitely a bit of a noticeable difference there as well. We actually got, just look like we got 6 squads, but that's still just 5 squads of conscripts with some machine guns. We've got mines having prepared now, so he's actually beginning to use munitions towards that. That is good. And there you go, larger push towards the west here. Pioneers, Grenadiers moving up. Panzer Grenadier and MG42 not quite there to support. Goes there. Oh, wipe that machine gun drop as well. That is a bit of a loss there to Zuna.
We are losing
mildly.
sector.
You got minefields being laid down. I don't think I see any teller mines though. It's just S mines all the way. There you go. Panzer 4 up here on the field from Zuna. Panzerkampfwagen 4 pin machine gun going up as well.
Our foes have 300 points remaining.
Right there with the field gun. He should probably just try and get behind it. Of course, there's a mine there, but he doesn't know that. By the way, you try and get up there. If he can basically ensure the field gun can easily turn. Could also be cleared out. No sign of that. Mortifying away there. Trying to get some kills. There you go. Panzer takes it from the field gun and the T-34. T-34 missed. More shots fired there. Panzer going to be sneaking about there. Lots more action, lots more fighting. Mortars have been sort of put together now to sort of form a bit of a battery, then just scattered about. Should allow Zuna to get off some more devastating mortar barrages when coordinated. Not entirely sure what he's doing with the Panzer 4 here. Maybe he's trying to wreck the building, or is he trying to open up some terrain now? I'm not entirely sure what's going on there for Zuna. There you go, we got a T-35 arriving here. Bigger turret, bigger gun. Same hull armor though, and we got a second Panzer 4 on the way for Zuna, second Panzer 4. No consideration for 2G, which again would have the better attack destruction capability versus the T-34, so we'll take a now there's a T-35 out there. Main gun destroyed, this is quick looking back there for Zuna. About to lose that Panzer 4, we got another one, but there we go, Panzer 4 out of control. Straight into the building, collapsing it. T-34 still operable, ditching to the belly, Panzer 5 there damaging the engine. T-35 there got a kill off, but there was no damage to it. Panzer going to need to get out there, Panzer going to need to get out of there. No! Sergeant Dietrich, get your men out of there.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Gunners are getting off a Panzer after the T-35, that's not going to have much an effect. Panzer 4 almost done. More Panzer 5s there from Zuna. Definitely trying to knock out that T-34 from his 6. Veteran 2 does allow to have a high rate of fire. There you go, Grenadier Squad more annihilated. Zuna, he's heavily bleeding out there. Heavily bleeding out. He's lost a Panzer 4 and he's lost several Grenadier Squads here in short succession. Interesting enough, the lap machine has not been picked up yet. Bit dangerous here though, bit dangerous. But at the same time, the machine is playing a bit risky. He's actually using the T-34 to support the T-35. And Field can hear stolen away, but gets rushed here by the Russians. Oh well, the crew cannot make it off. And he actually uses his Panzer Grenadiers to recruit it. Quite expensive there for Zuna. Quite expensive. Also indicates there's a bit of desperation, I think, from Zuna's side.
Attempting to steal our sector.
And looks like here machine's sort of getting some traction back here. I mean, Zuna might have briefly had a moment here, but this should be falling apart here under the weight now of the armor that machine is bringing in. He's also got access to some Sturmovik attacks to deal with any sort of infantry concentrations that might be bothering him. Mortars doing what they can though to frustrate any Soviet infantry movements. Panzer 4 Gefechtsbereit again. Orbital Blitz would be good. Officer would also be good. I mean, they really need some more infantry now. I mean, his infantry is woefully now sort of outnumbered by the machine. I mean, we got 8 essentially. Oh, Panzer Strike's now dropped it even further. I mean, you've got the Pioneers with the flamethrower. They don't quite, you know, cut the same level there. particularly the minesweeper ones. And that got, you know, Zuna's basically sort of giving machine here basically inadvertently a larger infantry advantage now by upgrading with infantry. Of course, it will help versus the armor, but the infantry is also a threat. They seem to have forgotten about that. Shot bounced off the turret there, it seems, from the Panzer IV.
We have a fresh grenadier squad.
Field gun bombarding, mortars firing away there. Trying to get that enemy field gun. Gute Arbeit. Replacement grenadiers, still no sign of any armor, no blitz either. No fuel cache either though from the machine. He's actually flooded quite a bit of manpower there. I mean, he could consider expending some of it towards mortars to try and silence the enemy ones, otherwise caches. Caches are good. Caches are really good actually. Bunch of Schreck Panzer really moving up there. Holy crap, again, he went out in the open, no real cover there, took a direct hit from the T-35, and you really be careful about, you know, moving out the infantry out in the open versus tanks, and all it takes is one good hit and they're all gone. Which is rather what happened there. That was basically those Panzer Grenadiers out the window. And that 120 munitions. T-35 moving up there. Shot bounce off the Panzer IV. Good mortar hit there, good mortar hit. Closing in on Veterans U3. Definitely looking rough here. We got a Pak 40 in the way, a Pak 40, Panzerabwehr 140. Sergeant Sergei orders the tank back for some repairs. T-35 which is by the way halfway to Veteran 3, is also need a bit of repairs there. But is otherwise largely combat effective. No blitz. At this point though, I mean, he's got 2 tanks against some field guns, so there's probably going to be more tanks coming in soon enough. I mean, oh, we got a fuel cache up over there, good. But a Stugen might be a good sort of solution, sort of just increase the amount of fire you can lay down versus the tanks on a bit more of a mobile basis here for Zuna. He also should consider not just having it on shoot-only vehicles, he needs sort of some extra infantry kills, and that regard the Panzer IV usually tend to do well, in particular with a machine gun of its own, but seems like his Zuna is getting a bit caught on with those tanks in certain sense. Again, he keeps forgetting about the infantry, which again is always something a bit dangerous to do. There we go, contributing out, hit the incendiary rounds would be good, incendiary rounds would be good. Pinned there, pinned. Lieutenant Petrov taking what he can there with the T-3476. Good hit on the Panzer IV with the field gun. Pak 40 could move a bit further. Seems like all the fighting now is focused in the centre. It looks like the machine still forgot about flanking. And there we go. He's got another T-35 up here, another T-35. That means 2 T-35s, 1 Veteran C1, and he's got an almost Veteran 3 T-3476 as well. I mean, right now, the machine's got a notable armor advantage over Zuna. He's not going for the Stu, might be aiming there, of course, for a Panzer IV. Not going to help totally, but might provide him with enough. I mean, if he's going to play for a Tiger now, it's going to be dangerously risky, since again his opponent has got a lot more armor out in the field now. We got a straight gun going in there as well, hitting against the Pak 40 there. Good. Tank taking hits there though. Hits the mortar. Oh, almost got it. There we go. Veteran 2 mortar dead. He's still got the third mortar. Oh, moved a hit too far there. Pak 40 needs to open up as soon as can. Veteran 1 then the Panther IV. Dangerous situation here. Veteran 1 T-35 is providing the Panther IV with extra experience to quickly get toward Veteran 1. Of course, that's one thing to keep in mind about experience in the game. As the enemy, your opponent gets more veterans than when your tanks, you could say, yes, you get more veterans experience in your tanks. They will provide more experience to your opponent as he attacks it. So, I mean, a Veteran C3 unit, for example, is going to be a better source of experience, for example, than a Veteran C0 unit. And that's something to keep in mind there. Engineers are getting suppressed. Mortar there stolen away, so a bit of engines there from the machine, a bit belatedly, but still there. Now it's basically how much of the broken central rush across all the map here. Soon he's doing his best for pushing back, and it seems like he's very much playing for a target here. Very risky again, he's not able to knock out a single tank there. His opponent has most of the field now. It's bad for Zuna. submachine guns versus flamethrowers. And there you go, Molotov's up, is going to have to fall back. Complete collapse here of the front line for the Speerverbande. And this Phalanx can pack forward, being up there, is going to get flanked. Panzer needs to get back in the fight here as soon as it can. To at least cover up his anti-tank weapons. Almost got the T-34, but there you go, Pack 40 was cleared out. Oh dear. Still no free fire. Even with infantry right about the easy target, he doesn't order to free fire. What a miss there by Zuna. Again, that's always some of the things that you be careful of when your tank don't shoot at, you know, vehicles. You can end up forgetting about, you know, being able to shoot at infantry, which again is a bit of a miss, in particular on the Panzer IV. But Zuna is definitely playing for a Tiger tank right now. He's basically pinning all of his hopes there on the Tiger to turn the tide here and save the day. That mortar's definitely doing a bit of good here for the machine already. Certain mortar doing what it can as well though for Deutschland.
Close air support is available.
And the Germans did capture a lot of them, and they also did put them to use. Different places, usually more second or third rate, or even fourth or fifth rate units, but some equipped with them since the equipment supply of the German stocks. I mean, the Germans generally did to whatever extent they had to put enemy equipment to use. Fun fact there, by the way. Some during the war they captured quite a few millions PPH-41s, which actually allowed them to convert them over to using German munitions. So yeah, fun facts there, fun facts there. We've got veterans with 3 E-3476 out here for the machine. Almost 22 on the T-35. I mean, really the situation is very much in machine's favour here. The armor basically giving the machine here the upper hand. As soon as he got that T-35, things seem to fall apart quickly here for Zuna.
We have it.
Apparently was not expecting it. He's lost his fuel point as well. That's only going to slow down the acquisition of a Tiger. Very close to with that Panther IV, which would certainly make it a bit tougher to deal with for the Soviet tanks and give them a bit more of a hand up. There we go, got the enemy mortar, got the enemy mortar. Small victory there for Deutschland, and there you go, T-35 moving up here, Panther IV engages. Or not, actually pulls back. Here seems like Zuna's getting a bit skittish. Holy moly, we're up to 3 T-35s now. 1 T-3476 veteran T3. This is bad news for Zuna. Again, his plan for playing for the Tiger is definitely going to backfire on him now. Nice miss there from the Panther IV, miss from the Panther IV. T-35 moving in there, Panther IV taking hits there, down to half health, down to half health. Blitzing away, T-35 continue moving in. Bit of shooting there, Panther IV did not get in a single hit there, so it was moving, did not get in a single hit there. But he can soon get that Tiger, he can soon get it, just a few more moments, just a few more moments. But he's going to have one hell of a challenge there ahead of it. One hell of a challenge, he's going to need to work it closer together with his Panther IV if he wants any chance of this working out. It's going to work a bit, and machine they're not having any idea how to flank a Tiger, because who flanks that Tiger, for example, that's 3 T-3476, it's going to be GG pretty quickly. I thought they fixed that bug! Holy crap. Tiger, they're moving ahead there, Schwerpanzerabteilung 101, providing some heavy armor there. Moving ahead there for Deutschland, Panther IV needs to get support here though, Panther IV needs support as quickly as possible. T-35 moving in there. Tiger engages, needs to pull back, Panther IV needs to get up there. Panther IV's going off, there we go. Vetri 2, Tiger though, there we go. Flanked by the T-35 from 6, high rate of fire, high rate of fire. Tiger already taking good hits there, almost down to, well, quarter health. Down to half health there, T-35 from 6 trying to move in. Panther IV needs to cover up the rear. Panther IV trying to get behind the buildings, trying to get in. Panther 4 does not cover the rear. Defensive forces is allowed to continue moving as it does. Continue to allow moving as it does. Taking behind. Crushing the Grenadier squad almost entirely. Main gun destroyed. Main gun destroyed on the Panther. Scheiße. Panther 4 that's left. Holding down to half health. They're too close to the T-35s, increasing their penetration. Main gun destroyed as well. T-35 moving in there. There we go. A hero of the Soviet Union. Lieutenant Petrov wins the day. Tiger knocked out. Panther 4 not really looking good in there. Zuna in this case definitely made the wrong bet. He bet on the Tiger when he should be some more they could say wreck larger holds of armor quicker. And then of course when he had it he didn't properly support with his Panther 4, allowing it to be easily outflanked, having overall GGThemachine that handled that one quite nicely. But there you go, GG by GGThemachine. Good use of his infantry, good use of his doctrine. I mean, he pretty much made use of every ability compared to Zuna, who made use of one or two other blitzes, and a Tiger, nothing else of the doctrine. I mean, that definitely also played a larger role. I think good use of full castles here, by the way, by Machine, though it could have been earlier. Good use of his units overall. I mean, nicely played there. Good flanking, good aggression, not just bashing his head into the enemy half the time. Though there was a bit at one point a bit of a standoff there. But otherwise, nice flanking. In particular, there's that Tiger. Had he not done that, things of course could look differently. But there you go, nicely executed, nicely executed. Zuna though were also playing nicely though, rather staggered at the mid game there. You should have gotten more publicity. It was really intended Tiger. But otherwise, a Stuka 2 maybe would have helped out a bit there, or something else. But rather, he made a few sort of wrong decisions. Then he sort of decided to double down on the Tiger, and that basically allowed Machine to sort of quickly outnumber him with tanks, and that basically gave him very few chances of surviving. So there you go. But he really should make better use of his doctrine. He should call on officers at the very least, sort of boost his troops here and now. I think that would have made a difference there as well. But there you go. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you had some fun. Hope you learned some things. If you did, feel free to hit like or subscribe to the channel. That's always appreciated. Otherwise, you can provide comments in the section. What did you like about this? What could you have done better? You feel maybe, though of course be respectful towards the players. And otherwise, thank you all for watching, and see you all tomorrow, I hope. This is Imperial Inc. Cheers, and thank you all for watching. Bye.